Hello and welcome back to part 4 of the IPControl CLI videos. And we're going to pick up where we left off after we imported the network elements and we attached them to their containers. I went back and removed them for this one so we could just focus on the one here. And what we want to do now is we work through the scenario where you're unable to discover the interfaces and the subnets. We did import the interfaces. Now we want to import subnets that map to those interfaces. So one of the things that I want to do, very similar to what we did in the others, is I can go out and export a block that I know exists and to then effectively look at it from a router perspective and see how it looks so I can model it in my other imports, right? So if you're still in the /opt/incontrol/etc/CLI directory, it's a / and then export child block.sh. And what we're going to specify, there's a number of parameters you can filter. We'll specify the block, which is -B, and then we'll give it the subnet and /CIDR size. And lastly, the -F option to export it out to a file, which I'm going to call export block CSV. So what I want to do then is I want to export this because it's going to show me how it's linked to this router on its data element. Right? So we're going to go ahead and do that. Go ahead and log in and then copy it over to my system in Excel so I can work with it. Okay. And let's copy this download. All right, and just like the others, we can go out here and copy and paste and just paste it into the other screens. Now, the couple of things you'll probably note here, this subnet that I exported has two containers that it's attached to. One of those is the device container in my lab, and another is just to the logical container in that term. So what we want to do is kind of model this one. We want the first one, which will show us the interface and other data. Now, we want then to go back to our import child block. So if you will, get your import child block CSV or XLS file template. And if you open it up and just paste that data in, it should map up to the specific fields and the information that we need. So what we're going to see here then, and this is where some things we'll have to go back and double check our interface names. The first is asking to look for the container, and we want to change this to represent GA routers and then router 1. The block size, which I'll call this one 24, I'm going to give it a data block. Now the subnet address, I'm not entirely sure which one we'll give here or what the name will be. So let's have it give us the automatic one. We won't give this a name. It'll fill that in for us. We'll tell it the deployed status and the block type, and it should give us a next available subnet, which we're going to just tell it to do that for us. Now the interface names, again, I need to pull this up from my interface list, and let's just go ahead and drop it on gigabit 40 for the heck of it, being the first one there. And we're just going to overwrite what is there. And since we're going to have it automatically give it to us, we want to give it the offset, and I want to tell it to use the first offset of the address. So this is going to tell us to begin that the beginning address use offset 1. We're not going to create the reverse for this. And there's a couple other parameters here that I don't think we're going to set at the policy level, but certainly we could if we had a need to at this level here. Let's see what that last field is. Oh, okay. So that's the range, and we're going to drop that out of there. And let's go ahead and take care of that. Okay. And let's try importing this now. We'll save this out as a CSV. And we'll use the tools import wizard for the child block in this instance as well. And we'll do next, we'll select our file. Import child block. And we'll upload it. And next screen, we'll compare it, make sure everything's okay. The data type's there. We don't have a block name address. I'm hoping to get the next available interface name, IP address. Should be good. And we'll tell it to run immediately. And just like all the others, I'll go in and take a look at the task and wait for that to finish, and we'll give it a status, hopefully complete successfully. All right, and that's done there. And now if we go back and look at our device container, you'll see now that it's no longer gray. It's going to show us that we have some attached. And now we have under gigabit 1040 the data block, and here's the subnet. So um, keep in mind you can do this in bulk as well, just like anything else. And what I demonstrated here not only was attaching the subnet, a subnet to that router interface and a specific interface and offset, but it also demonstrated how IPControl can give you or allocate the next available block in a container as long as you know the container name and the data type or block type. Then it'll take the next available based on the policies around these containers and attach it to the device. So folks, I think I'm going to wrap up this video with this quick one here and showing you how to import. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave comments or email me if you have my email address and want to discuss this. I might come back and do another video to kind of go through some of the different CLIs that are available. However, I do recommend that you go ahead and take a look at the CLI guide to start, and it'll break it down in by CLIs as well as APIs. Also note that there are some differences between some of the command lines on the Linux version versus Windows. So there may be a few that are not in the Windows version. Most are. But take a look and feel free to work through these. And again, note that it shows you the syntax for both Windows and for Linux, as well as all of the column and field values and pairs. Again, thanks for your time, and we'll see you again in one of the next series that I'll post out in the evaluation group. Thank you.